Doctors said the stuntman would never walk again, but after a strange and shocking healing technique, he's a walking miracle.
John worked as a successful movie stuntman. He saw his career flash before his eyes when he sustained massive injuries in a non-stunt related accident.
Breaking the tibia, the fibia, and the femur, bone on bone, and was told without a knee replacement I would never walk without the use of a cane.
The Acuscope and Myopulse first came into the limelight when Terry Bradshaw used it in 1983 to rehabilitate his damaged throwing arm.
And so now I started the Acuscope. I've had 4 treatments as of this date, and I threw today with no pain, 0.
A year from the date of the injury, I ran my first triathlon on a leg they said would never bend.
Sports figures have been using this machine for quite some time. Many give glowing endorsements. Terry Bradshaw swears it helped him. So does Joe Montana and golfing great Jack Nicklaus. He was treated for the tendinitis in his wrist and elbow.
The game of golf is to be able to put my body back in the position it should be, or in a normal situation to where it gives itself a chance to heal on its own. And that's really what I found is a great usage of these machines.
Is treating professional surfer Sonny Garcia for a sports injury.
I think I tore some ligaments in my knee. During the Billabong contest, I just did something that usually you wouldn't do. With this treatment, I've been fine.
First of all, I've been practicing medicine for almost 40 years. My son had a devastating illness. It was an illness that started over 5 years ago.
My father, being a well-known doctor, set me up at many clinics, including the Mayo Clinic, including Hippocrates, trying to figure out what was wrong with me to get me back on track. Yet I kept deteriorating to the point where I was hospitalized at 83 pounds, and the doctors gave me a 1% chance of living. I like to say I was one breath from death.
We really didn't know what was going on in him. We tried all sorts of treatments, all sorts of modalities. I literally had to put a catheter in his heart. I had to help a thoracic surgeon do that in Dallas.
After the hospitalization stay, that I met John Thorpe and used the instruments for the first time.
I actually thought I was going to lose him. I mean, I was terrified. When you think you're going to lose a child, you got to throw out the books. You have to learn everything you can. Over the last 5 years, I learned about energy medicine.
At that time, when I first met John, I was experiencing a lot of ear pain and tinnitus. I had ear ringing. My first treatment was just a 20-minute ear clip treatment, and immediately my results were incredible. I could hear better. I didn't have the pain. I was so ecstatic and extremely happy. My right rotator cuff was very weak, and sometimes it was even hard to even eat food. After my first treatment, I felt like I had 50% of my shoulder back. Completely amazed.
Over the years, I've realized that one of the best ways of getting the body back into optimum health is using electrical energy.
They have been helping me in many ways that I could never have imagined, and I'm very thankful to John Thorpe.
Hi, you know me. I'm Mark Victor Hansen, co-creator of the Chicken Soup for the Soul and the 1 Minute Millionaire series. But today I want to talk to you about one of my close, dear friends who I've thought the world of for over a decade. His name is John Thorpe. He could do all the stuff that they said he'd never do again. That's number one. Number two is that he's healed tons of people. Number three is, for me personally, I had my hips, and they said, hey, look, 10 years ago, you got to replace them with porcelain. On John, and what he did is he regenerated my hips instantaneously.
My name is Ted Lilly, and I'm a pitcher with the Los Angeles Dodgers. I had surgery in November of 2009 and needed to get back on the field. Didn't have the time, the normal recovery rate of 6 months or whatever it would be, so I ended up giving John a call, and he came up to the house and treated me for 3 days. And I didn't really think that it would happen quite this quickly, but I was throwing a baseball within 3 weeks after having my shoulder scoped and throwing without pain.
Hi, I'm Jack Canfield. You may know me as the co-author of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series of books. And this is my friend John Thorpe, who's been my buddy for over 10 years and also has done a lot of healing work on my body. He was having tremendous low back pain at the time, and amazingly relieved that pain in one session. It was phenomenal, and I was shocked by how quickly it worked and by how profound it was. And I've been a great supporter of John and his work ever since. Later I broke my knee skiing. Accelerated the healing on that. Doctors told me I'd be limping around forever, and I don't limp at all anymore. And that was phenomenal. That was a huge, huge thing. I just feel blessed to know that he And this technology exists, and what I always try to do in my life is bring the best of everything I learned to everyone else I can. So this is part of me doing that for you today.
My name is Dr. Sherry Tenpenny. My background is in emergency medicine. I was at a facility where my husband had a tooth pull. He was in extreme pain, and John Thorpe happened to be there with his Acuscope. He's had no problems with it ever since. So that made me a believer by seeing the absolute immediate results that my husband got from just simply one treatment with the Acuscope.
He relieved my beautiful wife's pain. It not only relieved the pain, but it dissolved the scar tissue, something no other therapy could do.
Hi, my name's Cameron Lowe. I'm a Major League Baseball pitcher. I play for the Milwaukee Brewers. I had a really bad back injury. In fact, I had a herniation in 2 of my discs, L4, L5. As well as a 3-year arm injury that had kept me off the field. I had in cortisone injections and ultrasound, and it was excruciating. It was horrible. I'm in the major leagues, so they're supposed to have everything. I met John Thorpe. He, with his instruments, made my disc problems go away, as well as my 3-year arm injury. I've played the last 2 seasons and have not missed a single outing. I said that if I had made 1 month in the big leagues that year, that I would go purchase the Acuscope and Myopulse, and that's exactly what I did. If you are looking to get involved with these instruments, make sure they're Thorpe certified. If it doesn't say Thorpe certified, and if they're not trained by John Thorpe, don't even do it, because John Thorpe has been in this business for 26 years. The technology's been around for 30+ years. And John's the one that has come up with the protocol to make them properly work and get the results that are just mind-blowing.
I really feel that electrical medicine is in its breakthrough days right now.
This is John's arm after his surfing injury. This is 5 weeks later. From this to this.
The receptor sites on this cell tend to shut down. And when that happens, we get microbes, viruses, bacteria, parasites increasing in numbers. And when this occurs, the cellular function declines, we get mitochondria dropout, we get aging, we get death of the cell, and eventually death of the tissues.
John Nash, right after his initial injury on March 31st. A series of photos.
This date today is the 8th of May.
John Nash, approximately 2 weeks after that last shot you just saw.
The doctors said my skin graft wasn't taking, we had some infection. If it wasn't for the Acuscope and the Myopulse, looked like I was going to have to get another skin graft. But with this miraculous instrument, I am healed.
This ulcer here was a 1-year-old ulcer. Had 2 skin grafts, hydrotherapy, medications were all unsuccessful. And with the use of this instrument, in 8 weeks we had it completely healed.
My first x-ray showed an actual opening between the bone. As what was to have been in a cast for 6 weeks and then recovery and all that, I was healed in 3 weeks.
Gary, you're going into cancer, malignant congenital, and you're so up. I said, yeah, I'm going to be all right. Thank you, Electro Acuscope, John Thorpe.
Got a story about what some call a miracle machine.
It's being hailed as the miracle machine. Just a few short months ago, Jeremy Snyder was paralyzed on the right side from an inoperable brain tumor. He was considered terminal and had lapsed into a coma. His parents took Jeremy to Mexico for treatment. The Acuscope was part of that treatment.
They started using the Acuscope and biofeedback on Jeremy, and that brought him out of the coma that he was in.
David Jones. I'm a physician, and I also am very active in the field of functional medicine with the Institute of Functional Medicine. I've had the pleasure here at Sonovive, which is an internationally famous center of healing, having a sports injury treated by John Thorpe. The injury was a fairly serious injury. At the time, I thought I had fractured my hip. In injuries of this sort in the past that I've been dysfunctional for 6 to 8 months, and I was treated within the first 3 weeks and only lost a week after that of playing active tennis. It's been a marvelous experience seeing what treatment of this sort can do.
For the past several years, Sonovive has implemented Thorpe's protocols as a primary step toward wellness for its patients.
Best experience that I have is
to exposed tumors. We're talking about small tumors in the breast, cysts, and even malignancies. After the use of the electroacuscope or the Myopulse, these tumors start shrinking.
Hi, I'm Dave Austin, a mental performance coach to many great pro athletes and college athletes. I've done a U.S. Olympic team, and I am probably the biggest skeptic. My son, who plays quarterback at the University of Hawaii, had problems with his knee. So we decided to bring him over, work with John, really helped him with his knees, and we thought, wow, there is something to this. Got pitchers in the Major League Baseball, 2 of them that probably, I don't know if they'd be pitching right now if I hadn't met John. They are just big believers now, and it's because it works. It's absolutely remarkable, and I'm blessed that John kept saying, Dave, believe me, trust me. I do now.
I called up old patients, and it actually worked on those patients that had failed with acupuncture. A quadriplegic come in here from Utah. He couldn't feel from his shoulder down. He now has feeling down past his elbow, and he can wiggle his thumbs, which doesn't sound like such a big deal, but if you're a quadriplegic, it's a big deal.
I'm Shane Austin. I play quarterback for University of Hawaii, and I got introduced to the Acuscope and Myopulse a couple of years ago by my dad, who knows John Thorpe. This past season, I got in a car accident a week before a game, and definitely I don't know if I could have played, without using this machine, because I got just a couple treatments, and I was able to play that Saturday. You want to get treated by somebody that's certified under John Thorpe, because it really does work.
I've seen John for so many things I kind of forgot. I mean, we're all looking for the machine like the metal detector. You can walk through it and get totally treated, like Star Wars. But it's more hands-on.
All those movies that we saw, years ago, really are coming true today.
Hi, my name is Luke Scott with the Baltimore Orioles. Been using the electric Myopulse and Acuscope machines, and to try and bring back some regeneration in my shoulder and speed up the healing process. I didn't have the stiffness, I didn't have the soreness, I didn't have the inflammation that I was experiencing at the time. I'm really confident that the use of this machine is going to help speed up my recovery. It's very important to use a Thorpe certified electroacuscope, electromyopulse machine combination, and to also have a Thorpe certified technician so they can get maximum results.
I found about this therapy through my dad. He's a doctor, a cardiovascular surgeon, and John treated my sister for a sprained ankle, and then I had a sprained ankle as well, and I came to John to just get some treatment to try to accelerate the healing process.
Rachel Buehler, the defender, with only her second ever goal for the USA, and what a time to score it on her World Cup debut.
I really know what it's like for the human body to break down. But you multiply that times 10, and that occurs to a horse. And the equine is very vulnerable. So I'm actually using the Myopulse in treating thoroughbred racehorses, especially with joint and ligament and soft tissue injuries.
I'm Tyler Sarin. I'm a Thorpe certified electroacuscope and Myopulse technician and trainer. I have been around racehorses my whole life. I was born into the industry. My dad is a very well-known trainer here in Southern California, and we're here at Hollywood Park Racetrack right now. I've had a lot of success with these 2 instruments, the Acuscope and Myopulse. We've treated numerous different problems, anywhere from inflammation in the tendon, suspensory, and I've had nothing but success. And I believe that it all is credited to the training and the protocols that I've learned through working with John Thorpe. Just to give you an idea of the success we've had with this machine, in the last 2 months we have generated close to $500,000 in winnings. We've been fortunate enough to work with a grade 2 winner, I'll have another, at 43-1.
They come for home, and I'll have another, kicks away. I'll have another, opening up to lead by 3, and as I'll have another coming home to win it easy.
A starter allowance winner, ultimate decision.
Ultimate decision, clear by 5. This is a 1-horse race, and that 1 horse is ultimate decision. Could go around again. He hasn't even broken a sweat today.
Thalia, who came out to win a maiden allowance race.
3 wide, Batala. These 3 right across the racetrack. All it's got is took second, Batala in front.
And also Farley Star, who won very impressively.
But Farley Star is extending, and here's Farley Star from left to first to win.
I've learned a lot from working with John, who has been around and was the first to treat horses and has been doing it for 26 years. And I feel very confident with everything that I've learned to be able to go up to top trainers and be able to make a difference in their horse. If you want to be consistently in the winner's circle, be a part of our team and join Thorpe's certified program.